Sometimes you really want to watch an anime, but just don't have the time to fit a full-length series in. Other times, you really need to get a video out for Saturday and don't have any other ideas you can produce in one day. As a solution to both of those problems, in the next 7 minutes, I'm going to tell you about 7 great anime with episodes that you can also watch in less than 7 minutes, not counting the openings. Let's start the clock. Wait, what do you mean it's already started? Oh god, we don't have time for this. Whew! This is stressful, but not as stressful as watching Yami Shibai, which, despite clocking in at just 4 minutes per episode, manages to be substantially scarier than almost any other horror anime out there. Every episode tells a new spooky tale and manages to pack a surprising amount of tension, dread, and build-up into its short runtime before giving you a good scare at the end. This is classic Japanese horror through and through, built on simple-to-understand premises and unnerving twists that stick under your skin long after the unsettling, discordant end credits roll. The show makes use of a distinctive paper puppet art style that both saves on animation costs and adds to the creepy factor with stiff, unnatural movements. Yami Shibai takes full advantage of its time and budget limitations to chilling effect. Unfortunately, it kinda goes downhill after the first season, though later seasons do still have some great episodes mixed in. One show that surprisingly hasn't declined in quality, even after 9 seasons and 108 episodes, that's one for every Star of Destiny and Suikoden, is Teekyu, a rapid-fire absurdist comedy about an earnest and enthusiastic tennis-loving high school junior who joins a tennis club that does just about everything except play tennis. Having watched almost the entire show, I'm still not entirely sure that I can accurately describe it, but I can tell you that it's funny. Really incredibly, at times painfully funny. And the laughs do not let up. The girls hardly pause to give you time to breathe, let alone let a laugh sink in, before they've moved on to the next insane parody or non sequitur gag. Now, you can make it through this whole show in about 4 hours if you marathon it, but you're going to need an oxygen break or two in the middle, so it'll keep you busy for a fair bit longer than that. If you need additional tips on keeping yourself busy, try consulting Tonari no Seki-kun, a show about a young boy with a knack for coming up with elaborate ways of goofing off in class, and Yokoi, his easily distracted desk neighbor. Yokoi plays the exasperated straight man to Seki's silent gag-driven antics, and often gets more caught up in his wild daydreams and crazy contraptions than he does. I know it doesn't sound all that enthralling just from me describing it, but trust me when I say that this show is charming as hell. Every new episode brings with it a new creative surprise, and Yokoi even undergoes a bit of character development in its 21-episode run. Also, not for nothing, the show has one of the greatest OPs of all time. Although not as great as the greatest anime ever made ever, Inferno Cop. As the literally explosive debut of Studio Trigger following Imaishi & Co.'s split from Gainax, Inferno Cop had a lot to prove and not a lot to prove it with. We're talking a staff of just 23 people, including the musicians who worked on the theme song, and a cast of just 12 actors playing 39 different characters. Instead of compromising for the sake of its pocket change budget, though, Inferno Cop goes balls to the wall, drawing immense humor from its concerted attempt to create a gritty, action-packed crime drama with literally none of the resources required to actually make it. Inferno Cop doesn't let its hilariously cheap, mostly motion-tweened animations and frequently reused assets stop it from exploring themes like time travel and cybernetic augmentation, or even from taking occasional trips to hell. Inferno Cop is basically what Kung Fury would be if they'd forgone the Kickstarter and animated the whole thing in Flash instead. In other words, pure awesome. I could watch it over and over again. It never gets old. Speaking of getting old, that's the subject matter of the one other non-comedy on this list. She and Her Cat, Everything Flows, a loose reimagining of Makoto Shinkai's debut short film of the same name that is substantially sadder than what Shinkai came up with. I'll give you a second to let that sink in. Well, actually, we can't really spare that second. This touching drama tells the all-too-familiar tale of a family pet's life from adoption straight through to very predictable spoilers, with the unique hook that it's told from the perspective of the cat, narrated with an animal's limited understanding of the human world. It's beautiful, touching, and above all, really, really fucking sad. Oh man, after that I need a bit of a pick-me-up, and I have just the thing. The sweetest love story ever told. Ojisan and Marshmallow tells the tale of a middle-aged salaryman, Hige, and his one true love, marshmallows. Also, he has a younger co-worker named Wakabayashi who's constantly trying to get in his pants. It's neat to see a romance anime with the woman in pursuit rather than the man, and despite Hige being dense enough to make most harem protagonists and harem girls seem downright clairvoyant, the show manages to walk the fine line between a comedy of errors and an infuriating cavalcade of pointless misunderstandings. The show can also be unexpectedly sweet, see what I did there? But more than that, it's surprisingly dramatic, featuring intense rivalries, monumental battles of wits, and some of the most earth-shaking plot twists in anime history. Now lastly, on the subject of twists, Oshiete Galko-chan is a show all about subverting your expectations. The series follows the day-to-day lives of Galko, Otako, and Ojo, three girls who seem at first glance to be cardboard cutout tropes who you'd think would have nothing to do with each other, but quickly reveal themselves to be more than meets the eye. The three friends spend 12 sublime episodes talking through the trials and tribulations of high school girl life, including a lot of topics that you don't often hear about outside of health class. But even with its raunchy subject matter and sense of humor, at its heart, this series is about these girls supporting each other, moving past their preconceptions, and learning to understand each other in spite of their differences. It's the very definition of a feel-good comedy, with a selection of waifus who are the very definition of top tier. But if you're still unsure and you want to hear more before giving it a go, then go watch this video from Best Guy Ever and see if that doesn't convince you. And with that, we are done, without much time to spare. Hopefully I gave all of you something new and entertaining to watch during commutes and lunch breaks on days when there's no new Mother's Basement video. If you'd like some recommendations for longer shows, check out the videos on the left, and don't forget to subscribe for new videos every Tuesday and Saturday. I'm Geoff Thew, professional shitbag, signing out from my mother's basement.